Yeah. Checking out, went into the Gundicha around 5 o'clock this afternoon. He didn't go in right after the Rati Yatra. He stayed outside. It used to be that they didn't have so many guards around, all night long. So if you stood around, all of a sudden you go up the stairs and touch Lord Jagannath. But now they've got, 24-hour guards and everything. Well, how to support, convince myself, or convince anybody, how to support, convince, or even, make sure that what I'm doing is right. There's difficulty. Oh, right up there, I dressed them up today. Yeah, that's Seva Kunj, made by Tara Chand Nath. Okay, so, or even how to get somebody to even slightly feel like they should try to do Manasa Japa. Because it's not the regular thing. It's you don't see anybody propagating it. And the only reason I would know that Prabhupada was actually doing it is because Satsarup told me. But he only saw him doing it when he was here in Vrindavan. He didn't see him doing it. He didn't see that Prabhupada had the necessity to do it anyplace else. So, myself, from hearing that, that's 1985 or so, I just tried. But the difficulty is you don't know if you're fooling yourself. Am I really chanting in my mind? And Srila Prabhupada gave a hint to Vishnu. Vishnu Jan Maharaj. And I got it right from Vishnu Jan Maharaj. He said Prabhupada told him that don't chant, just like in one tone. First part chant up, second part chant down. First part chant up, second part chant down. So even I said, okay, now I'll use that support up and down, to at least, while I'm trying to chant the mantra, I'll try to think of going up, think of going down. Okay. So, just from myself studying, it may be different for other people. It's hard. You can't hear yourself chanting. You don't feel the air in your voice going through, or nothing like that. You're not humming. You're not humming. You're not. There's only you're hoping that something's going on in your mind. You're hoping that something's going on in your mind. So, from doing it quite a while, and I do mean quite a while. And by the way, when you start telling people how to do something that is difficult and they may not even believe you, and they may even go against you, and so many other things, you start taking, it's a big risk. It's like opening Pandora's box and all your benefits are going away and being misused by others. So I'm taking a risk. It's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Because Sanatan Goswami states one should chant in the mind. One should chant in the mind. So if somebody like that is stating that one should chant in the mind, at least an effort should be made. So I came to a deal with Krishna. And I said, I can tell when I'm not chanting. Definitely I can tell when I'm not even trying to chant, because a thought of something else comes. But even when I'm chanting out loud and moving my fingers on my beads and everything, still a thought away from japa comes. Thoughts come like that. And I even try to imagine what the thought was, and all these distractions. So even while you're chanting on your beads. So I said, okay, Krishna, what we're going to do right now is, and it's valuable. My life air is valuable. And Krishna, he gives value to my life airs. So I can understand when I'm not chanting by thoughts that are not about chanting in my mind. Thoughts that take me away from where I am. That's a good place, Because when you chant Manasa Japa, you really start feeling the place you're at. You really start being in the place that you're at. You have to, I have to be in time in the place that I'm at. I have to be in the space in the place that I'm at to do Manasa Japa. Not that it's that difficult, and probably others won't find so much difficulty as I do. So, after chanting so many years, this type of Manasa Japa, I can say that I can feel that if it comes down to nothing else except the time that I direct only to Manasa Japa, even if it just comes down to that, even if I'm not able to imagine and really get into the Manasa Japa, but I am giving my life air. I am giving my time. I am bringing myself right down to where I am. And that's difficult, because almost all the time the mind's thinking that I don't want to be where I am. I want to be someplace else. And be here now, famous book, published by Ram Dass. Actually, Ram Dass was a good friend of Rupanuga Maharaj, who helped me out so much in beginning Krishna consciousness. So it was stated, be here now. So Manasa Japa helps in that, to put the person where they're at, to really bring the attention, because I'm trying to get into my mind, and that's really where I'm at. I mean, the soul sitting in the sternum here in my rib cage. He's sitting there, so it's hard for me to imagine that one. But my mind, since it does so much work for me and everything, I can be in my mind. Try to go into that atmosphere of the mind and just be there. Just direct everything to there. And from what I feel and the result, there is results. It's not like it's something without results. And it has helped me along a lot. When the drawbacks, because it may be said, okay, this should only try to be done by devotees that are advanced, that don't have so much work to do, or this, that, and the other, but not now. I'm totally contrary to that. Because if I want to get some work done, and if I don't do Manasa Japa, I'm sitting here a long time trying to chant 64. If I do Manasa Japa, I can get it down the lowest around 3 minutes. Sometimes maybe more, sometimes, when I get a good feeling of it. But it's around 4. Now, in general, the people are chanting around 7 minutes. You know, these are qualified devotees that have been chanting for a long time, about 7 minutes. So, 4 minutes for a whole round of japas is pretty good, you know. So, and it comes down, you know, like around 40 minutes, around 42 minutes. 42 minutes. Okay. And I want to do 64. So, four times 40 minutes, 160. 160, that's around 2 hours and 40 minutes, almost 3 hours. And if you understand, even Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, Gurudev, he said that 64 should take 4 hours. So that's around 45 minutes each 16. That's around 45 minutes each 16. Or, yeah. You could say it like that. Because it's hard to grasp it. Okay. So, actually, 4 and 4. You know, 4 16s and 4, it's 4 hours. So 4 hours is, you know, yeah. So you want to do a whole 16 lot of rounds in an hour. Yeah. So that comes out to be, you know, pretty fast. But I feel that's too easy. So bring it down to at least 45. Bring it down to at least 45. And you'll find yourself, I mean, if you really give your time and your everything, and I know Krishna's happy. I know Krishna's happy. You know, it just makes him happy that you're doing this endeavor. Yeah. And you'll probably get better at it than even myself after so many years of trying to do it. You'll be able to do it. But for anyone to tell me that not to provoke devotees to do Manasa Japa, you know, I'm totally against. No, you have to. Because if they don't do Manasa Japa and they're going to try to do 64, then they're going to take a long time, and they're not going to do any service at the temple, and they're not going to, you know, and this world is moving too fast, and you got to move faster than this world. So if you do nice Manasa Japa, you do nice Manasa Japa, you feel so nice. Now I have got my Manasa Japa done. Yeah. So it's actually a big relief. Not that it's a burdensome, but you know you've given your time. You know, and I say you know you've given your breath and time to Krishna. That you can be satisfied you have done. Yeah, and you learn how to breathe right too. Yeah. There's so many things to it. Once you get into it, you'll find so many aspects of it that are so positive, and you'll see why, you know, Prabhupada was doing it. While he was here in Vrindavan, he was always doing it. Maybe other places he wasn't doing it so much because there's so many devotees and so many things going on. But here he had his own time, nobody to bother him, and he knew that chanting at Manasa Japa was so potent, Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to put that out, and hope I don't lose my potency to chant even one round by saying it so vigorously that persons should try their best to do some Manasa Japa, even if it's one round. Yeah, even if it's just one round. And I put on the stopwatch, I count on my phone each round that I do. I put it down and I look at the time it took and I examine and I think about it and I say, why did it take me so long to do that one? Or why? Oh, that was so good. I did it in such a good time. Around, for me, a little over 3 minutes. Around 4 minutes is good timing. That's my good timing. Yeah. Yeah. 6. Yeah. Okay, I just leave it at that, and you can always give me a comment, put a like, or show that it wasn't such a good idea to tell you about this, but hope your japa goes good. Yeah. In this world, to find a silent time where I can, I've come, Prabhupada told Satsvarup Maharaj, don't use an alarm clock. He says, before you go to sleep, you look at the alarm, you look at the clock, and then you fall asleep thinking of that time that you've lied down to go to sleep. And then you'll automatically get up at the time that you should get up. And that's around 3:30 in the morning. So even if I sometimes go to sleep late, my body still wake me up at 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, so it really does help. And then at that time, everything's calm and sweet. And I can just sit up and start chanting. Yeah, okay. Jai Jagannath. Oh. I mean, like, it took him so long to go in. He arrived there yesterday, and not until around 5 did he go into the Gundicha. Okay.